You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
What is up, everybody? You're checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, joined by my Hot Commodity Ant, and we are covering Attitude Era WWF Raw Is War from September 13th, 1999, live in Anaheim, California. And we start out this edition of Raw with Triple H, the WWE Champion, arriving backstage in a car surrounded by police officers. A bunch of the wrestlers are looking for him after he attacked most of them on SmackDown and Raw last week. Linda McMahon, Pat Patterson, and Gerald Briscoe come out to start the show. Linda says, Triple H on SmackDown, you dug your grave, and tonight you're going to sleep in it. Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, The Rock, and Mankind all deserve a shot at the title. They'll compete in a no-holds-barred match. The winner faces you, Triple H, at Unforgiven. I think there will be a man who has contractual right to demand a rematch with Triple H. Tonight, you will defend the title, Triple H, against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's when champion Triple H and China come out with guards. Triple H attacks Gerald Briscoe, and China low blows Pat Patterson. And Triple H says, I don't know what you're thinking. Let me tell you this. This is a game you don't want to be in. Go back to Stamford before you make me do something I'll regret. Linda leaves, and then The Undertaker, Big Show, Rock, Mankind, and Kane all run down. They fight in the ring, and Triple H escapes. So what do you think of Linda coming out here and causing mayhem for Triple H?
It was cool. I like that. I was just saying the other day, I wish they would bring Stephanie back to kind of have that what do you call it? Not view,
Like
angle. Yeah. So I love this time. I think it was just like a really classic episode and a really good time in the Attitude Era. And I like how they like have all the main players. And I wish they would do that more now. Like they kind of they'll have a storyline and it'll just be like one person versus the other. Like it was much more mayhem back then, and they had a lot more people involved and it made it cool,
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I definitely thought it was cool that everybody was getting involved, and Raw was starting off chaotic, and then that makes you excited to see what else is going to happen. Michael Cole talks to Intercontinental Champion Jeff Jarrett backstage. Jeff says, these broads bitch about equality in the workplace. So tonight I'm challenging any woman who has a genitalia, and I want China to be at ringside to watch. So Jarrett continues to shit talk China. We then see Shane McMahon arriving backstage, and we have champion Jeff Jarrett with Deborah Miss Kitty. Luna Vachon accepts the challenge made out by Jeff, and Jeff pretty much attacks Luna, beats her up until WWF Women's Champion Ivory runs out and hits Luna over the head with a guitar, and Luna gets the win by DQ. After Jarrett yells at Lillian Garcia and applies a figure 4 on them. So let's talk about Jeff Jarrett shit talking all the women.
Yeah, we never really see men hitting women anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes, but it's rare. And it's usually either by mistake or it's the woman hitting the man.
Yeah. And it was, Jeff Jarrett continuing to shit talk China and Ivory getting involved, screwing over Luna.
Well, we never really had anyone like China either. Like I think the closest we have to that was like Rhea Ripley. Like she definitely kind of takes on the guys. I don't think she's done it in a match per se, but
and all the people that Jeff is like attacking are not China, so it's like
right. It's not fair.
We then see Stone Cold arriving backstage. China talks backstage. China says, you think it impresses me, Jeff, when you beat 2 old hags? I'll be champion Unforgiven. You tell Stone Cold Steve Austin we're going to hammer it down tonight. So strong words from China, who it's weird because she's a heel here, but she's also taken on another heel, Jeff Jarrett. So,
well, she was heel when she was out there with Triple H. When she was out on her own, she was kind of so.
Next up, we get a Dudleyville Strap Match. Devon Dudley with Bubba with Bubba Ray Dudley defeats Faarooq with Bradshaw after Bubba hits Faarooq with his steel chair and Devon pins Faarooq after the match. Bubba Ray Dudley hits Bradshaw with the steel steps and double team Faarooq until Bradshaw makes the save with steel chair. So the Dudley Boys, ECW, they've been having a lot of hardcore battles back and forth with the Acolytes these past couple of weeks. What are your thoughts on these two teams going at?
They were cool. The Dudleys weren't really like, you know, they were heel for a while, but it's funny because like they're so loved now. But you know, it was a good angle, and I wasn't really fans of the Acolytes, but it was a good match. They always put on a good match, and it was cool to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see which team will get the advantage over the other, because so far they've been split.
Yeah.
Jim Ross comes out and welcomes out the British Bulldog. Bulldog says, the reason I gave Al Snow the hardcore title is because he deserves it. I want to show the doubters that I could come back after a bad injury. There's only one belt I haven't got my grips on, and it's the WWF title. Before I retire, I will be WWF champion. That's when Big Boss Man comes out. He shit-talks British Bulldog, and then Al Snow comes out and challenges Big Boss Man to a Hell in a Kennel match at Unforgiven. He wants to put him in a cage surrounded by dogs. Bulldog attacks Boss Man from behind, but Boss Man gets the advantage until Boss Man is chased away by a couple of Rottweilers. Crazy angle here. Are you excited for this Hell in a Kennel match?
I am, but I've heard it was like really not a good match,
Yeah,
and that like the dogs were like shitting all over the place and stuff. So.
Botchmania. I am happy the British Bulldog is back, though.
Yeah, I like the British Bulldog. I like all the heart time.
We then see Shane McMahon is passed out on the ground backstage. Somebody beat him up. Test defeats Joey Abs, the Mean Street Posse, after a pump handle slam. After the Posse attack Test, Shane McMahon runs out and makes the save. And Test and Shane chase Mean Street Posse backstage until they get in a car, and Shane Test chase them off. So Shane has joined the good side. He's helping Test against his former friends.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm falling for it.
Do you think Shane's going to turn?
I think so. I think it's definitely a possibility.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. Next, WWE Champion Triple H comes out with China and police officers. He's supposed to take on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Triple H says, there's nothing I love to do more than kick your ass again, but you blew it. You did aggravated assault on Monday when you attacked me. I signed a warrant for your arrest. Boys, do your job. The cops handcuff Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Triple H attacks Austin from behind.
And this is because he put Austin put Triple H in an ambulance, and then in it was a huge 18, which was awesome.
Yeah, Austin always gets arrested.
Yeah.
He's probably got a lengthy...
I love all the cool stuff they used to do back then with the cars and everything. Like, we don't get to see that a lot anymore.
Yeah, they don't destroy things a lot. Next up, we get the returning Godfather with his hose taking on Chaz. During the match, Chaz's girlfriend Mariana comes out with a black guy asking Chaz to tell her why this happened. And then the Godfather nails a hoe train and a DVD to beat Chaz. I like the Godfather.
Yeah, I think the girlfriend was doing something dirty. I don't think Chaz did that to her, but we'll see.
Linda McMahon tells Pat Paris and Gerald Briscoe she needs them to stay tonight. There's serious business going on. Next up, Chris Jericho comes out surrounded by a steel cage, and he says, Ken Shamrock, you are a fake and a scam. Last week I embarrassed you. I decided to give you one more chance to realize that I'm the world's most dangerous man. This is the Y2 jail. I found the most technical wrestler, and I'll tear him limb from limb. And he introduces Gotch Gracie, who's a big guy with a black mask. Chris Jericho hits a suplex, applies the walls, and Gracie taps out. After Jericho applies an ankle lock, Ken Shamrock runs out, and then Gracie and Chris Jericho attack Ken Shamrock. They toss him in the cage, and then Chris Jericho takes off Gracie's mask. My speech impediments coming in. And under the mask,
Shamrock takes it off.
No, they beat up Shamrock, and then Jericho takes off Gracie's mask, and it's Curtis Hughes.
Oh.
Curtis Hughes was a big dude in like '93. He
Yeah.
left for a while, but Ken Shamrock keeps getting beat up by Chris Jericho.
Yeah, but in slimy ways.
Yeah, well,
He keeps like tripping.
Chris Jericho needs to get his
Chris
ass.
Jericho's scared to go one-on-one.
Yeah, so he keeps doing shitty weights to get
Ken Shamrock was a beast.
We see D'Lo Brown giving the Godfather money backstage. We'll find out. Better recognize. We'll find out why later. Next up, we got the 5-way no holds barred match: Mankind versus The Rock versus Kane versus Big Show versus The Undertaker. During the match, a bunch of referees try to calm everything down, and Big Show, Kane, Undertaker, they all attack the refs. Godfather and Crash Holly run out along with other wrestlers, but they get attacked. The locker room pours out and everyone fights, causing more mayhem. We don't know who will take on Triple H on Unforgiven. And then backstage, referees are yelling at Earl Hebner. What do you think of that segment? That was just kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. I love seeing that stuff. I wish we saw more of that. I think we're starting to a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting with the Levesque era. Yeah. Next up, Val Venus and D'Lo Brown are teaming up against Steve Blackman and supposedly Alpinus. And supposedly, European champion Mark Henry is supposed to be in Steve Blackman's corner, well, Steve Blackman's tag partner, but he doesn't come out, and it ends up being a handicap match. D'Lo and Val get the win after D'Lo hits a lowdown. After the match, GTV shows Mark Henry backstage with the hose. So D'Lo Brown paid the Godfather money to distract Mark Henry during that match. What did you think of that?
It was cool. I liked the Godfather. I wasn't really a big fan of D'Lo Brown, but I appreciate him now. It's cool. And yeah, it was a fun segment.
I agree. A limo arrives backstage, and then WWF Champion Triple H and China come out. Triple H says, "Linda, I know you need to take care of family business tonight, but we need to talk. Linda, get out here." So Linda comes out. Triple H says, "Tell the world what happened here tonight." Stone Cold Steve Austin goes to the bottom. Tell the world he blew his chance. Linda says no, and then Triple H grabs her. And then we haven't seen him since July. Vince McMahon comes out. Now, for those who don't remember, The Undertaker fought Stone Cold Steve Austin at Fully Loaded in July, where if Austin won, then Vince McMahon could no longer be involved in WWE business, and he would no longer be allowed on TV. Austin ended up winning. So for 2 months, Vince was gone from TV, but he comes back tonight. Vince says, "I gave my word I wouldn't interfere in business, but this time it's personal. Listen, you son of a bitch, who do you think you are?" Vince takes off his coat, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out and attacks Triple H, and we're going to get Stone Cold and Triple H for the WWF title now. But this ends up being a huge brawl between the two. Austin attacks Triple H with chair shots and attacks Triple H's leg with chair shots, kind of similar to what Triple H did to Austin at SummerSlam. Austin then punches the referee, low blows at Triple H, and clotheslines Triple H on the ramp. Austin tosses Triple H into the cage and lands a stunner, and Triple H is knocked out. Stone Cold Steve Austin continues to be a huge thorn in Triple H's side heading into Unforgiven. What are your thoughts on
Well, this is the thing. I don't. It's been a while since I watched all this stuff. It's been 20 years. But I have the feeling that this is all a sham. I think that it's part of Vince's way into sneaking back into the company and getting revenge on Stone Cold Steve Austin.
By working with him first.
Right.
Well, we still don't know who Triple H is going to fight at Unforgiven. A lot of crazy stuff does happen on this upcoming episode of SmackDown, which we're going to be covering. So stay tuned for that. Unforgiven will be a couple weeks away, so we're going to be covering that shortly.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen that pay-per-view before, so I'm excited to watch it. But until next time, that is it. Stay safe and stay uncensored.